Welcome to the Truthful, Universal News Network. TON. No more mainstream media lies. It's time for the awakening. TON does not monetize its videos and needs funds to continue. Please become a patron at www.patreon.com/TON.
There's a good saying, death is no cure for ignorance. So just because you die doesn't mean you're all of a sudden going to be all wise and know everything.
That's the scary thing, though, isn't it?
Many places I go or magazines I read, I always see a lot of stuff showing that the Nazis are still, like, there's that vibration still there and it's quite close to ours. And there's a couple of other ones, but that one's one of the specific ones that I think that is going on right now, and that is causing a lot of havoc in this reality, this instant.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that it's just named, that the word Nazi is just named now. We're using that word, but I think this particular stream of consciousness that we are now calling Nazis goes back pre-Atlantean times, and they've just incarnated into the same bloodlines over and over again. Mm-hmm. To get around the karmic issues of that, so they'll put the truth encoded or embedded within movies, so they can say, hey, we told you what's going on, and if you didn't pick it up, then that's your problem. The problem is, anybody externally that you can see as a ruler, anybody, any of the royalty, any of the presidents, prime ministers, if you can see them, and you see them on mainstream television, they're not in control. So the real control comes from the shadows, comes from what you can't see. My concern was, all these ones that we see out in public are expendable. They're all expendable. So to implement the new world order that they're trying to do, why couldn't they create it so that they get rid of all these ones that we see on face value, and then put the real ones who are actually going to be the deceptive ones into the position, and then re-screw us all over again. The vibration of the planet is raising, and so that's why they're putting more and more pressure now, because they already knew this was going to happen. This is the end of an eon now, and at the end of every eon there's always a window point where you can leave, and this sort of window point is coming up now. They want to cull the population, but they want to keep enough, because they need us. They can't function without us. They don't have creative abilities themselves. We're the ones who are creators. They've hijacked our subconscious because we're creative beings, and they're using us to create the false reality. All Western religions are Saturn worship.
Yeah, okay.
They somehow hijacked the sacred text and changed them into different religions, and then they're using them initially for pretty much the same worship. And it's really, really sad, because the original writings weren't even meant for this. And you have to be open, and we can't just damn all of these writings, because some of them have immense wisdom in them because of the fact that they were twisted by religions.
Right, some very clever tricks been done. So they'll place a lot of the deities from the newer religions are actually just copies after copies after copies of old religions. So, for example, if you worship one particular deity and you're giving your power away to a specific deity in a church, you're actually not giving your power over to what you think it is. You're giving it to something else, which is then empowering the actual prison that you're in the first place. Say, for example, I met somebody here and I struck up a conversation with them, and in the conversation emotions were invoked. Well, then if this person had bad intentions for me, they would be able to hook into a certain area, depending on which emotion they invoked. If there was a heart emotion or a sexual emotion or whatever it was, they could hook in, and then even after you've left or away from that person, they are still able to drain energy from you. Generally, these are multi-generational satanic families. So this has gone on for generation after generation after generation. This isn't the one we're seeing in the newspaper are seemingly random pedophilic abuse. It's not random. This has gone on for generation and generation.
an answer to the question about with the paedophilia, we can understand it going back through generations of and timelines with the elite.
Yeah.
But what about the general public on housing estates where they got no link to
Well,
past?
how would you know they don't have any link to it?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't. And there's a lot of these bloodlines that are hidden and put into other families and hidden under different names.
And I suppose over thousands of years it would spread out quite prolific.
Share this video, click the like button, and subscribe to Ton.